Tonight, we saw she was given a special security escort to Court 6 last night. There were thousands of Filipinos who tried to get a glimpse of the star on Court 6. Hundreds didn't manage to get in. They were, in fact, quite rowdy at times.
Alex Eala, the Filipino tennis sensation, has just received an invitation back to Australia, and not from just anyone, but for a special exhibition match in Melbourne. And make no mistake, this isn't just another tennis event. This is a statement, a powerful declaration about respect, popularity, and the undeniable voice of the people. To understand how we got here, we have to rewind. When Alex Eala first arrived in Australia for the Australian Open, something extraordinary unfolded. Thousands upon thousands of Filipino fans poured into the city to support their tennis hero. The scenes were electric, flags waving, chants echoing through the streets, a sea of Filipino pride that transformed Melbourne into something it had rarely seen before. But there was a problem. Not everyone could get inside. The stadium hit full capacity, and thousands of devoted Eala fans were left outside, locked out, unable to witness their idol compete. That moment didn't go unnoticed. Fast forward to today. Fully aware of what happened during the Australian Open, and understanding just how powerful Alex Eala's following truly is, the Australian president decided to act. He personally invited Alex back for a special exhibition match ahead of her next tournament. This wasn't a WTA move. This wasn't a promoter's call. This was the president of Australia stepping in directly to give the people what they wanted, a chance to see Alex Eala play live, the way they were meant to.
Broken for the first Tuesday, set at about 58,000 back in 2020. That has now been broken today, set at about 61,000. So as you can see, just another ripper start to the Australian.
And once again, history repeated itself. Thousands of Eala fans flooded the streets of Melbourne, moving like a tidal wave of anticipation, all hoping for just a glimpse of their tennis idol. The energy was electric, the excitement impossible to ignore. Yet despite every effort to accommodate the crowds, the stadium filled up once more, forcing thousands of devoted fans to remain outside. The demand to see Alex Eala compete is simply that overwhelming. For security reasons, Alex was escorted into the arena under government protection, Australian authorities taking no risks with crowds of this magnitude. And the moment she stepped onto the court, she delivered. The fans erupted. The atmosphere became unreal. Alex Eala gave them exactly what they came for: brilliant tennis, fearless shot-making, and that infectious smile that has captured hearts around the globe. But this is where the story takes a sharper turn, one that has stirred quiet controversy. Aryna Sabalenka, the current world #1 on the WTA, is reportedly unhappy with the situation. Here was the president of Australia organizing a special exhibition for Alex Eala, complete with presidential recognition and government security, while Sabalenka, despite holding the top ranking in the world, has never received treatment like this. Now, let's be clear, Sabalenka is an exceptional athlete. She earned her #1 ranking through relentless work, discipline, and elite performances. She deserves every ounce of respect. But what's happening with Alex Eala is different. This isn't about rankings alone. It's about connection. It's about passion. It's about the emotional bond between a player and the people who see her as their hope. Alex may not be in the top 10 yet, currently ranked 40th, 9 spots higher than during the Australian Open, but numbers don't tell the full story. What makes Alex Eala special is the powerful relationship she shares with her fans, especially the Filipino community. Massive, loyal, and fiercely proud of the player they call their own.
Stardom to her. She's had some incredible results and she's beaten players like Madison Keys and Iga Swiatek, so she's the real deal, already top.
And through all of this, Alex Eala has carried herself with remarkable grace and humility. Wherever she goes, she speaks with nothing but gratitude for the overwhelming love surrounding her. She understands this moment is bigger than individual success. She knows she's carrying the hopes of an entire nation, millions of Filipinos across the world who see in her something rare, something meaningful, something worth believing in. But what truly ignited this unprecedented presidential intervention wasn't just fan passion or packed stadiums. It was a powerful voice stepping in. Novak Djokovic, widely regarded as one of the greatest tennis players of all time, publicly called out the WTA for what he described as mismanagement of Alex Eala during the Australian Open. His words carried weight, echoing across the tennis world and forcing uncomfortable conversations behind closed doors. When someone of Djokovic's stature speaks, people listen and institutions react. Suddenly, what fans had been saying all along was impossible to ignore. Alex Eala wasn't just another rising player. She was a phenomenon being mishandled, a global story unfolding in real time. And once that truth reached the highest levels, the response was swift, decisive, and historic, setting the stage for everything that followed next.
You could argue that it was, maybe a poor schedule and maybe they could schedule him on a bigger court. Yes, but again, she's Alex Eala, that's been a talk, and which is understandable. There's some players coming from respective countries, like she's coming from Philippines, which is now a big deal. She's been the biggest ever, tennis player from.
Think about what Novak Djokovic is really saying here. He's arguing that the environment a player competes in matters enormously. The size of the court, the atmosphere inside the arena, the surge of energy from the crowd, the lighting, the surface underfoot. Every detail feeds into performance, especially under the crushing pressure of a Grand Slam. When you place a player who attracts thousands of devoted fans onto a smaller court, where most of those supporters can't even get inside to cheer her on, you're not setting her up to succeed. Djokovic's criticism struck a nerve. It sparked debate. It forced people to question why the WTA would handle one of its most popular rising stars this way during the Australian Open. And clearly, those words traveled far. They reached the highest levels. Seeing the frustration, the disappointment, and the sea of Eala fans left outside after traveling across continents just to watch their hero, the Australian president decided enough was enough. He took matters into his own hands, bringing Alex Eala back, organizing a special exhibition match, and giving her the stage to perform in front of her people the way she deserved. But here's the most remarkable part. Even with presidential backing, even with a custom-built moment designed to fix what went wrong, the stadium still couldn't hold everyone. Thousands were left outside once again. And that tells you everything. Alex Eala's rise isn't slow, it's explosive. This is a level of devotion rarely seen in tennis, something that transcends rankings, seedings, and results, and turns a player into a movement. This is the kind of popularity that turns players into global icons. This is the kind of connection that makes someone more than just an athlete. Alex Eala is evolving into a symbol, a living expression of Filipino pride and excellence on the world stage. And that's something no ranking system can fully capture. Since the Australian Open, Alex hasn't slowed down. She's gone back to work, sharpening her game, growing stronger, and steadily climbing the ladder, moving from outside the top 50 to 41st in the world. That progress matters. It proves she's not just beloved, she's becoming a legitimate force on the WTA. But this entire moment exposes a deeper disconnect between how the WTA traditionally manages players and what fans actually respond to. Rankings and seedings are essential for competition. Yes, but when a player can draw massive crowds, fill stadiums, and generate emotional energy that elevates the entire sport, perhaps there needs to be flexibility. The Australian president clearly understood that. He saw a chance to honor a rising star, reward genuine fan connection, and give thousands of people something unforgettable. From her perspective, it's understandable why Aryna Sabalenka might feel uneasy, but that reaction misses the bigger picture. This isn't about diminishing anyone's achievements. It's about recognizing that tennis, at its core, exists for the fans. And when the fans speak this loudly, it matters. Alex Eala's journey is only beginning. Ranked 40th and climbing, backed by a level of support most players can only dream of, and with legends like Novak Djokovic openly advocating for fair treatment, her future doesn't just look bright. It looks transformational. The Australian president's decision to bring her back to Melbourne is far more than a polite gesture or a symbolic invitation. It's an acknowledgement that something rare is unfolding right now, that Alex Eala deserves recognition, not just for where she sits in the rankings today, but for what she represents and what she is steadily becoming. This moment signals a shift, a new chapter in tennis where popularity, emotional connection, and cultural significance carry weight alongside wins and losses, where players are celebrated not only for trophies, but for the people they inspire. And with every match she plays, every crowd she electrifies, Alex Eala continues to write that chapter herself, one powerful moment at a time.